Aloha, my name is Megan Rivera. I am your Miss Globe Central Oahu. I am 29 years old and I was born and raised out in Eva Beach. I am a medical social worker out at Queens Medical Center, West Oahu. I work in the emergency room. I also work at Kapiolani Medical Center as well. The best three words to describe who I am is that I'm compassionate, patient, and charismatic. So typically for me, I would wake up, do my daily devotions, and complete a workout. Either at Orange Theory out in Kapolei or at UFC in Waikele. These two things are actually very important to me. It allows me to center myself, gets me ready for the craziness of the emergency room. There's a saying that in the emergency room, there's never 2 days that are exactly the same. You always go in wondering what's going to happen today. For example, there's days when I have the ability and a big blessing to be able to be there to witness a child being born. But there's also those days when it's the opposite, where I'm actually that one person that helps family members when their loved one expires. I am the one that holds their hand and help them go through the early process of the grieving. You know, a lot of it is just being there, just being that physical presence and that connection to find out, what do I do next, what happens. And I find that one of the biggest things that it's hard to do, but it's one of the things I know is able to help people in their early processes of grieving. Other than that, I can do things from arranging transportation for people to get home, to domestic violence, to substance abuse, behavioral problems, mental health problems, trying to find people shelter, helping the homeless. It's a wide gamut of things. You know, we never know what walks through the door in the emergency room or whoever EMS brings in. If I'm not at work, my typical day is just filled with trying to recenter myself so I'm a better person, learning, going to school, and then just spending more time with family and friends. Let it be going out to eat. I'm a big foodie, I don't hide it. That's actually, if I could consider that a hobby, that's my hobby. Trying to find new places to eat, food, anything like that. But other than that, it's either going hiking, going to the beach, taking pictures. It's pretty much anything that I can get my hands on that allows me to be a little bit creative. One thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm actually a really big travel bug. It actually started when I was 12 years old. I was selected to be a student ambassador for the People to People program. So I was actually very lucky. I was able to travel to 4 countries. It was England, France, Italy, and Greece. It was pretty amazing being a 12-year-old coming from the little island of Oahu and being thrown into these amazing cities that was basically so old and so intense when it comes to the culture, the food. Everybody speaking a different language definitely was something different. But it was definitely that starting point that started me having that itch of wanting to be on a plane, wanting to explore new places, finding new things. So that's why I even lived in Korea for about 3 months a semester. I studied there in Seoul. And then I'm always down to go traveling different cities, different places, just exploring, just trying to find new experiences. I want to win Miss Globe Hawaii because I want to be able to bring my platform to the people. I want to be able to bring awareness, to let people know that in the United States alone, there is 42.5 million people who are diagnosed with a mental illness. Some mental illness may surprise you. It's not as debilitating as some people think. But there are some people that it does take a hold and it puts a damper, it holds them back from living their life to the fullest. And I want to be able to bring that to everybody. As a social worker, I actually get to see it on the first-hand basis all the time. I see people who are trying to work through their problems, work through what's going on in their heads, and know it's not right, but they're still seeking help. And it's one of those things that I want to make sure that there is someone who's going to be able there to help them. In our state alone, unfortunately, mental health took a cut in the budget from the state. And I want to be able to, all the good people that are actually helping people in the community, case management, boarding homes, group homes, things like that, they're doing the best that they can, but they're stretched so thin. And I want to be able to kind of bring that to the forefront and allow people to see that it's not as scary as a lot of people think it is. And I want to be able to see how that goes, and I would love to bring that to the forefront and everybody can see what's going on. And then for me, when it comes to my me time, I normally work 6 days a week. Some people say that's a little intense to be working 6 days a week, but for me, what I do, it's not really work. I love what I do, being able to impact people's lives. Even though how small it is, I know that I made a difference. But for me, when it comes down to going to the gym, binging on Netflix, watching shows that I love over and over again, like Supernatural, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, all those things. I love to watch them and binge watch as well. And then, of course, when it comes to going out and spending time with friends, once I'm able to get some me time, get some chores done, things like that. My biggest ambition in life is actually to ensure that I can make a difference. To me, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how big of a scale that I make a difference. Like, I've always wanted to start a nonprofit to focus on making sure that, for example, for mental health, just a nonprofit to either fund small things that make people feel human, like making sure that people are able to get toiletries or something small, and then eventually I want to grow into a bigger nonprofit to make sure that I'm able to provide the bare necessities for people. There's some things in life that some people take for granted, and I feel like I would love to be able to help and provide that for people. And lastly, my favorite food, it's one of those things that either you like it or you don't. It's a flatbread pizza, but this pizza has to have garlic, spinach, and anchovies. That's usually the thing that turns people off, but it's one of the things I absolutely love. It was one of those things that I learned how to eat when I was in Italy, actually. I can actually demolish a whole pizza with those 3 toppings. My favorite movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm a true Marvels fan. You want to sit down with me, we can go at it and talk about the whole franchise if you want. My favorite city, to be very honest with you, is the city that I went to college in, Seattle. I went there as a 17-year-old, not knowing what in the world I was getting myself into, moving away from home. And it was definitely a city that changed me, helped me become the woman that I am today. The city in itself, a lot of different cultures within one area that you never thought you would be able to see. The one thing I love was being able to go out on a Tuesday night, see a band down the street, and then be able to go to school the next day. Or being able to go across the border up to Canada, explore it there. It was truly a beautiful and amazing city. And my favorite song is actually Clarity by Zed. It was a song that was introduced to me in 2013. Of course, it went viral. Everybody loved it. It was on the radio everywhere. But it was one of those things that song came into my life at the perfect timing. I was just starting my job, and I was just starting in the field. And there was moments when I thought I couldn't do it. And this song helped me go through a lot of trials and helped me learn all of that. So once again, my name is Megan Rivera. I am your Miss Globe Central Oahu. Don't forget to vote for me. Click on the little voting. And I hope to see you guys at the pageant on July 23rd. Aloha! you.